Welcome once again to our encouraging word. We've been working our way through the books of the Bible, and now we're up to the prophets. Now, I said last week that I don't have time to do all of the prophets individually, so that I'm just going to condense my messages on the prophets to 2 weeks. We did one last week, and we're going to do one this week. Last week might be entitled The Gloomy Week, and this week could be entitled The Glorious Week. You see, the prophets are often very gloomy when they look at things from a human perspective, when they look at human behavior, when they look at the human sin and selfishness, self-centeredness, when they look at the human tendency to rebel against God. They look and they say, disaster's coming. And so often they are exactly right as people refuse to hear God, refuse to obey God, and disaster comes. But on the other hand, when the prophets look at God, when they turn their eyes to God's goodness and grace and might and forgiveness, when they look at that, they see glorious things. They see wonderful things. So today we're going to see one of those glorious passages taken from the book of Ezekiel. Now, Ezekiel is writing to people who are living in exile. They've been taken captive out of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. They're living as slaves. They're living in poverty. They're living in hopelessness. There's no way that they can rebel against the superpower of the world and return home. So they are just devastated. And Ezekiel turns his eyes to God, and he sees something glorious. He sees the people as dry bones. God gives him this vision. The people as dry bones laying there without hope, without life, without breath, without the Spirit. And he sees God breathing life into them and restoring them and bringing them back miraculously by his sovereign hand to Jerusalem. So let's listen to a little bit of Ezekiel 37. Then God said to me, prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken, and I have done it, declares the Lord. God's love, mercy, might, grace supersedes human sin. No matter how sinful, no matter how wayward we are, God's grace can supersede that. He can breathe life into our dry bones. That is such good news to us, that human behavior is not the last word, that God's loving sovereignty is the last word. So if you are feeling like dry bones today, if you are feeling discouraged today, take hope. God's love and mercy and might supersede our dryness, our spiritual deadness. He can breathe life into you and to me. There is hope in the Lord. This is the encouraging word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.